time before as everyone's joining us. Hi, Rita. You may not have heard this. If you have something you can go grab that you could use for standing on, just to challenge your balance a little bit. If you have like a little towel or even a little rock like this, we're going to be doing some work, and you're going to need your blocks, and you may want to have something nearby you like your chair for being able to hold on to for balance. All right, you guys each have a rock. We're going to be ending up using that a little bit. You'll also need your blocks. Get your comfortable seated position right now, and we'll go ahead and get started. Let me just make sure we don't have anyone else waiting to come in. All right, and I apologize. I'm going to sit in front of you guys today. All right. Good. Let me set my phone to stun. So we are going to be starting off sitting in our comfortable seat. If I can get my phone to go to stun. There we go. Finding enough height that your back feels comfortable, your legs can feel comfortable. It's Monday morning. I hope all of you guys that are mothers up there in the US had a wonderful Mother's Day. Mwah. Thank you for being the moms that you are. We had a great day with Deborah here. And now we're back on Monday, back on track here. So let's go ahead and get yourself comfortable. Feel your sit bones grounding down. Just move anything from your legs on up through your torso that feels like it might want to move to settle down into this. Get your head and neck feeling comfortable. If you need to work out a little bit of movement there. Finding then this feeling that you feel like you're stacked on top of your pelvis, and it just feels this sense of ease sitting here. Let your arms relax. Begin to either soften or close your eyes. Take a couple nice full breaths. Exhale. Kind of coming into and arriving here in your body in this moment. Allow your jaw to soften. Allow your eyes to soften. Start to come into stillness. And now start to come into awareness. So bringing in now the awareness of all of your body, and just taking a quick scan and listening carefully. What part of your body wants you to pay more attention to it today? What part of your body is receiving this breath and awareness easily, and what parts might feel a little blocked off right now? Find and feel then the just simple rhythm of your natural breath. This ease within the inhale and the exhale. Start to observe if there's things that are coming into your mind, if there's some to-do lists going on or what you're bringing in, and see how much you can perhaps allow your thoughts to just simply come in and focus on your breath and your body. Can you come into this just feeling of simple rhythm? I want as much as possible today in our practice that we stay with just simple being. It sometimes is not so simple. Now that you've had a couple moments to kind of come into this calmness, what might it be like in your life if you could operate from this place of calmness and ease? What might you like in your life right now to be a little bit more simple or easeful? These may be some ideas for you to form your intention for your practice this morning. At any time during this practice, and indeed at any time during your day, if something starts to feel too much, whether it be too much for your body, too much for what you're experiencing in the moment in terms of sensations or even just emotions, please just know that simply returning to stillness and paying attention to your breath is a great way to come back and into this feeling of perhaps ease. Thinking about if there's someone or something that you would like to dedicate your practice to today, planting that seed as well. And then let's bring the palms together, thumbs to the heart. We'll open the practice with an Om in the Uchara manner, vibrating the Ah low in the body, the U around your heart, and bringing the nasal sound up into the head, allowing the silence to then go up beyond that. Exhaling together and inhaling. And we practice together in simplicity and ease. Namaste. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and switch the cross my legs. Then I'm going to go up front here and turn this back to speaker view so I'll look a little bit bigger on your screen, I hope. And I'm going to allow in the one person who got waiting in the waiting room. Good deal. Okay, so we're going to do some work with our legs at first. So having switched across your legs, let's just do a couple things here to get the arms moving a little bit. So with this, if you guys got enough room to move your arms a little, excuse me, just taking for a moment your arms at your sides and just finding now some simple movements of your hands and your wrists, going up and down. Your elbow creases are pointing out and up, and just a little up and down. Come to center, a little side to side. And then closing into fists and opening wide, fists, opening wide. And you can always do this. It's nice to pair with your breath. All right, now we're going to lift up the arms a little bit more and do the same thing. How far down can you do with the arms? How far up? Just moving, getting some of the nerves to come down into our arms warmed up a little bit, maybe even some nice circles here. Good, close a fist, bring it back out, closing it out, closing it out. And then one more time, up even a little bit higher, but keep the elbow creases going up towards the ceiling. And the same thing, moving the arms. Good, you guys look great. All right, and some circles. Good, once you've done that, open and close a couple times, then bring your arms on down and just do some nice big shoulder circles. And around in the other direction. I think there were a couple of you that joined a little late. What you're going to want to have before too long is something. I have some rocks here that I can hold in my hand. Something that we're going to work on with standing on in a little bit to challenge your balance. So just know it could also be like a rolled up washcloth or something like that if you don't happen to have any rocks around your house. Why not? Everyone should have rocks around the house. Painted rocks. Painted rocks, okay. We're going to do a couple things now, and I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see me. what we're going to be working on is we're going to work with some stuff with the feet and the ankles. So just for a moment, get yourself sitting with your feet out in front. Excuse me, I have something in my throat today. Where you can just kind of do some movement with both of your feet to start off with. Just kind of roll your ankle a little bit. Just see how it feels this morning. And then I want you to, we've done this a little bit before, is from the foot, think about where your big toe's at, trying to lift that edge up towards your calf, inverting. And then the other direction, little toe coming up towards the outer calf, everting. So if I was to face my foot towards the front, we're trying to lift this part of your foot in towards your body. And then the other opposite direction, the outer part of your foot toward your body. Good. Relax that foot, and now we're going to switch, doing the other foot. So again, do some ankle circles. Go around in the other direction. All right. Now we're going to do that inverting and everting. So again, lifting your big toe side and trying to bring it up and toward your body. Just see how that feels right about now. And then doing it in the other direction, so the little toe's coming up and toward you. All right, relax that for a moment, set it down. So for part of this, you're going to kind of want to be sitting a little bit like this. And then for another part, we're actually going to kind of be kneeling on one leg and have the other leg on the ground. So you may want to make sure that you have either a couple blankets or your block. I'm going to grab onto a block and have that over here as well. Okay, so now again, I'm going to turn towards the side. What we're going to look at right now is I'm sitting here and I've kind of got my foot up like this, is I'm going to go back to doing that inversion, trying to lift my big toe mound up towards my body and just see, can I do that without having to move my knee? And you notice how one direction or the other, your leg may want to move, right? You notice how your knee might want to move, but if you hold it still, just check how much you can do without moving that. All right, I'm going to check my other leg out. That was my right leg. Now I'm checking my left leg. I'm going to put my hand here on my knee. And then with a big toe mound, I'm going to try to lift. How far can I come? And then in the other direction, how far can I come with my little toes? All right, this leg actually does this a little bit easier than my right leg without moving my knee. So it's just a matter of checking it out. Do you guys have a leg that works easier? The right? Left is easier? About equal? About equal. All right. Now, here's where we're going to start to have some fun. So we're going to work with a little bit of our, not only the range here that we have to flex our ankle. So I had, you guys may have heard me, seen me hobbling around a couple weeks ago. I had something where I kind of strained one of the tendons back here. Maybe my Achilles, maybe one of the other attachments. I'm not sure. But it hobbled me for a while. So I've been working on getting some nice strength in my legs. And part of what I noticed is that when I did that, it just felt like I got more secure up in my knees and my hips as well. So that's kind of the road we're going to go down today. Simple stuff, but we're going to see how it affects us as we stand up and do some other poses. So what I want you to do is we want to be able to really lean forward into this leg. Now for me to do that, it's going to be easier. I'm going to show you from the front. I'm going to sit on one knee with my leg out like this. Now I can sit on my heel, but then you see how my rear ends up in the air. But if I have my block and a blanket, now I can be sitting down on this and I'm comfortable. And this leg is a little bit more comfortable too. All right. So again, I'm going to show you from the side. My left knee is bent. My right hip was up in the air when I was kind of sitting on this heel, but now I can sit comfortably. And for me, the block and a blanket on top of the block was about what I needed for that. All right, so get yourself sitting. Left knee is the one that's bent. Your right foot's going to be the one out here in front. And so having a little support underneath your right gluteals so that you don't have to hang out in space, because we're going to be here for a little while. All right, everybody got a decent amount of support. Now, what I want you to do is I just want you to just notice with your ankle, we're going to go into what is our kind of passive range of motion here. A lot of times we work with active range, but we're going to work a little bit with passive range, but then try to make it a little bit more active. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come down And you're going to just kind of use your body weight to lean, and see how I'm leaning into this leg. I'm going to bring my heel a little bit closer. And I'm going to find where is it that if I'm pushing here, I don't want the heel to come off the ground. So only go as far as you can do this without that heel coming off the ground. Then maybe just, yeah, come up a little bit higher, or switch, or get a little padding underneath that other knee. If anyone else, if your left knee's hurting, or pull up on the knee. There you go. All right, so just find that place. Where can I come into? And we're putting a little body weight there. Now, as you're doing this, what I want you to do here is we're going to lift up your toes towards your foot. Lift them up, lift them up, lift them up, and try to keep them lifted as you now back off your weight and keep your toes kind of trying to come up towards your shin. And release. All right. How'd that feel? Hard to do? Hard to keep the toes lifted as you come up? All right, we're going to do that one more time. Come down, keeping your heel down. But we're using a body weight to kind of bring this knee forward. Where can I come to when I start to feel that heel wants to lift? It's your stopping point. And then here, now start to again try to lift your toes up towards your shin. And then try to keep that happening as you back off. Just try to keep the toes lifting, lifting, lifting. And release. All right, wiggle, wiggle. Now, what we're going to do here is I also want to work with a little bit of this inversion and eversion. All right, so I'm going to turn around again to face you in the front. Back up a little bit so you can see my foot a little bit better. All right, so with this now, I'm just going to come a little bit forward, and I'm just going to see, can I now lift that big toe up, 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 and then bring it back down. The inside, the big toe mound, and now on the other side, the little toe. Now I'm just kind of holding on this weight, just a little bit of body weight here, and now I'm trying to lift that up, not allowing my knee to move. Lift, 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 and release. All right, we're going to do that one more time on each side. Okay, so just a little bit of body weight forward. Let me show you again. Now you know what you're doing from the side. So just a little bit. I'm not leaning my full weight. I'm not trying to go into the full cranking that this can. And now I'm going to try to lift the big toe side of the foot up towards my body. Lift, 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 lift. But keep your heel down. Oh, you're getting a cramp. Okay, and back down. And then the little toe side. If anyone like Elodie's getting a cramp, deal with your cramp. And release. Good. All right, go ahead and take this foot and just give yourself a couple circles. We're going to switch legs. So you're going to need to switch your supports. So this time, my right leg's coming down like this, and I'm going to have support underneath that left side. All right, I'm going to turn back around to the front. All right, just get yourself comfy side to side, maybe a little different. You may need a little different height to feel comfortable on. Get that left sit bone to where it can be comfortable. All right, so this is kind of the position that we're in. So again, I want my left heel to stay down. I'm going to pull it in just a little bit closer to my body, and I'm going to start to lean my body weight into this leg. Leaning forward, and then as there's a stopping point, my bones stop me because my heel wants to now lift off the ground. I don't want it to lift off the ground, but I'm going to stay there. And then I'm going to start to lift my toes up towards my shin. While I'm staying here, try to lift those toes, lift those toes, lift those toes. Ooh, that's tough. And then start to come back, but try to keep the toes and the angle of the shin and ankle the same, your foot and shin, and release. Whew. This one's harder for me than the other one was. It's better for you. Okay, good. I hope all of you guys are finding your easier and harder sides. We're going to do this one more time. So again, we're coming forward. We're starting to bring body weight into this. Now I've got the feeling my heel is wanting to lift off. Don't let it lift off. Now I'm going to start to lift all of my toes towards the top of my feet. All right. Then try to keep them that close. Keep the foot that close to the shin as you start to back off. Your foot may lift off the ground if you're lucky. Hold it, hold it, hold it. One more breath and release. Whew. This is a harder leg. All right, wiggle, wiggle a little bit. Now we're going to come forward just a little bit, not as far as you were before, but just a little bit forward. And now we're going to work with the inversion and eversion. So inversion, big toe side of your foot, just a little bit of body weight. Now just Lift up that side of your foot, up, trying to lift that side of your foot towards your calf. Hold for a breath or two. And release. Eversion, the pinky toe side of the foot. Same thing, just a little bit of weight coming forward on this foot, and then lifting up that side of the foot. Hold for a breath or two. And release. Good, one more time on each side. So just a little body weight coming forward, not much. Inversion, big toe mound, side of the foot, trying to lift up now. Oh, oh, oh. You almost forgot how to do it. Hold for a breath or two. Talk to your foot, give it some love, and come back. And now the other side, we're again going to start to lift up the pinky toe side of the foot. Hold it up for a minute, just a little bit of your body weight forward on this leg. And release. Okay, good. Go ahead and just for a moment, take both your legs out in front of you. And stay on your blanket or off your blanket. And do a couple little wiggles of the feet. Good. Now we're going to just see how independent we can get our toes. So spreading your toes wide. Now I'm just going to focus on one foot at a time. Go ahead and use your hands back behind to support you as needed. Try to take your toes and let them kind of be active. Spread them. And then can you lift just your big toe up towards your foot on your right foot? Ah! Now can you lift just your little toe up towards your foot and keep the big toe going out? Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Whew. Let that foot relax, wiggle, wiggle. It's pretty hard, right? There, you should hear the groans coming from the back of the room over here. All right, now do the same thing with your other foot. Get those toes ready. Maybe spread them a little bit. I'm on my left foot. I'm going to try to draw just my big toe towards my foot. Oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I've been working on this one a lot. The other toes, no. The other toes, no. And release. Whew. Wiggle, wiggle. Now the little toes. My little toes don't like to do this very much. This is a tougher one. So now keeping the toes spread, maybe that little toe coming towards the top of your foot, not the big toe. Come on, little toe. Come on, you can do it. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Oh, oh, oh. And relax. All right. Wiggle, wiggle the feet. There's a whole section of things that you can do. I prefer to do it with resistance bands, where you can work with this and actually independently work with the toes. And that's an amazing thing. Your feet feel completely amazing after that. All right, we're not doing that one today. All right, so all I want you to do is just like wiggle, wiggle. Now remember how a minute ago I had you do that inversion? Try it with both feet. Try to draw your big toe mounds up towards your calves. It feels so much easier now. And do the same thing, eversion. Right? Feels easier now, doesn't it? Okay, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle these legs a little bit. Go ahead and bend your knees. Move the knees side to side. Warm up those hips a little. All right. We're just going to transition up to standing. Come on up. Now we worked our feet. We got to check them out. Have what you were possibly going to use for your balance handy. And what I want you to do is, now that we're on our feet, is I just want you to find, and you can use your mat, you can use an area of your house, is I want you to focus on walking. And I want you to focus on walking, centering on the center of your heel, rolling out to the little toe mound, then coming over onto the big toe mound as you transfer your weight, and then stepping forward with your other foot. So walk super slow to start off with. Get into this pattern. Center of the heel, little toe mound, big toe mound. My other foot comes up and off the ground and comes forward. Center of the heel, little toe mound, big toe mound. Weight starting to transfer, lifting up other foot. Heel, little toe mound, big toe mound. Now as this starts to become more natural, you can walk around your mat, or if you find an area of your house, just do this for the next minute or so. Keep it slow enough that you feel all of those landing places within your foot. Center of the heel, little toe mound, big toe mound. Center of the heel, little toe mound, big toe mound. And now that your body's kind of got this, see if you can start to now find some feeling of fluidity. Few more paces here. Maybe you're able to get this going, feeling more like it's almost a natural and fluid and a simple action. We're simply walking. You feel the foot as it hits center of the heel, little toe, big toe. I can't wait till someone turns on this YouTube video and says, what the heck are these guys doing? All right, come on back. All right, coming back to your mat. Now, we're just doing a couple things here that's just kind of warm up a little bit of our balance work too. So just to get ready for this, just go ahead and move your hips a little around in circles and in the other direction. Good. Now, what I want you to do is, and I'm going to have you guys move that chair in between you two, move this chair in between you two, just so if you need it at any time while we're doing this stuff, let's bring it up just a little bit farther front so you can both reach it. You've got a place to put your hand onto if you need to for balance, all right? And for you guys at home, to have something by you so that you can have that hand on there. So I want you to find and feel, again, a place where your feet feel comfortable. Usually about hip width apart is good. And if it's comfortable for you, if you want your feet angled out a little bit, have them a little externally rotate. We're just going to start to bend the knees a little bit and come back up. So the wisdom says a lot of times we want to keep the knees kind of in line with those middle toes. Find what feels right for you. If I could individually be there with all of you and your feet and your hips and your knees, it would be better, but we're not. So take care of yourself. So this is kind of, if you notice, I can come forward and my knees start to come over my toes. What I want you to do is start to work with here, just a little bit of your squat where you start to go back first with your rear end. Instead of letting your knees come forward, this time start to sit back more like that. If you need to take your hands out in front, go ahead and do that. And just notice how your squat's feeling right now. We did some nice work with our ankles. Some of you may be comfortable enough that you actually want to come down a little bit farther. Find your stopping point and just do a couple. Find that feeling of your heel reaching down the ground, helping you come up. Now this time as you come down, not only your heel, but try to keep that big toe helping and rooting down, helping you come up. And now this next time, what I want you to do is as you go down, try to keep your knees lightly moving out. Don't let them come together. Keep the big toe grounded. Come back up. This time to add into that, keep a feeling of your heels trying to scrub out, even though they won't move. And down, especially coming up, scrub those heels out. Woo, I got so much action from the outside. You got them from the here. So we're all going to feel in different places depending on what all we've been working with. So those are some just nice actions, getting our legs warmed up. All right. One of the things that is, this comes from some people who have been talking about things that ballet dancers do to prevent ankle injuries, is lifting up and down. So heel raises and down. When we do this with both legs, right, we're taking about half of our body weight in our legs. Now, before I injured myself, I was actually doing this one leg at a time. I would lift one leg up. So now all of my body weight would be going up and down. This is where having something to hold on to for balance may be helpful. Just try that a couple times. Your body may not be ready for doing the one leg one. If it doesn't feel ready, this leg I know from my injury is no longer ready for that, but I'm coming up, I'm putting less weight on this leg, but it's still supporting me a little bit, and now I'm gonna do my heel raises. And down. All right. Anybody feeling instability in your ankles as you do this in this crowd?
I got a chair and a block.
All right, all right. So this is the thing that the ballet dancers are saying, is that this is one of the best preventatives they have for ankle injuries, is working with keeping your foot, your shin going straight up and down and not getting wobble wobble. Some of the work that we just did with some of this stuff probably was helpful for you to keep that from happening. So heel raises are a great one to do. You could also do this by stepping, for example. If you have a step in your house, or you could use your yoga blocks, and doing this, coming with the heels down lower than your feet, and then coming up like that. All right? So those are some options of working with that. These are just some really nice ways of conditioning and getting your ankles and feet strong. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring and we're going to have what you want to challenge your balance with, and put that somewhere in the middle of your mat. A rock. All right. It could be a rock. It could be a rolled washcloth. Something like even a hand towel might work if you're able to roll it and make it something so that your foot can step over it. But if you need to, you can have that heel down, or you could have the toes down. So what I want you to do is find one of your feet on your balancing thing. Use your hand on your support. And I just want you to start. You can have your toes and your heel down on the ground, but feel how your foot's lifted. And then just play with lifting the other foot up and trying to find the establishment of balance. Our ankles have so much to do with this. They help us so much. Good. Try that a couple times. And if you want, with the same foot, you could change where that object is under your foot. Maybe you just want to put it underneath the heel or just underneath your toes, or change it to the long way versus the short way. If I do it this way, now I have my whole foot on this, no part of it's touching the ground. And I can feel my work of my ankle having to work on balance a little bit more now. If you're finding this particularly easy, make sure that you're lifting up and now trying to find that nice tall spine on top. And then if even that feels easy, start moving your eyes to different places. All right, anytime you need to, bring that leg down and roll out the ankle. Good. So we're going to switch feet. So finding now your other foot, finding that object. And again, you may want to start off, and this may be your staying spot right now, is a place where part of your foot can stay on the ground and help you with that balance. But at least your other part of your foot is now having to do something different. Use your hand. Your support is needed for balance. You can always come back down. Try it again. If it's not the right foot position for you, don't worry. Just find something that's going to challenge your foot to have to work differently. Ooh, this is this position's really tough for this foot. All right, so maybe your other foot just comes up on the tippy toes and you've just practiced like that. All right, finding that, maybe now changing the direction or changing the part of your foot that was on it. This is the easier spot. Again, if balance is easy, finding that nice upright position, and also maybe starting to move your eyes. Maybe, maybe not. And come down and roll out that ankle. All right, good. Now, this is not the end of the journey for what we're going to do with our legs. So grab your 2 blocks. Now we're going to move up the chain a little bit of our legs, and we're going to work with our hips. So I'm going to show you standing like this, and I'm going to show you so you see what happens from the side, and then I'll show you from the front. What we're going to do is we're going to come up and down. And so we're going to be standing up and down. So you see what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to lift my other leg up to the same height as I come up. When I show you this from the front, as I come up, watch what happens with my hips. Right here, hips are uneven. I'm hiking this hip up and bringing it back down. All right? So the hip that's off the block is being lifted up and down. All right? So go ahead. You can have your right foot on your block. You may want to have both of your blocks if you got bigger feet and it's more steady to step onto both blocks. But now right foot on the block, you're going to lift that left foot up and try to lift that hip even higher if you can and bring it back down. And do that somewhere between 5 to 8 times. Use your chair as needed. All right. And what you're going to find is you want to start to find that the muscles on the leg that you're standing on that block with are working. You're starting to feel those muscles on the outside of that hip, getting some activity, some warmth. These are called hip hikes. If you follow, I can't remember her name, but she has a site called Nutritious Movement. She does some great stuff. She's the one that taught me to walk on rocks. All right, come on down. Say woohoo, right hip. And let's move to the other side. Left foot is going to be the one standing on the block. Again, you're just going to find and feel that your hips are an uneven height. Lift up and come back down. Again, repeating this using your breath. Some of you may need to, again, hold on to something or use a gazing spot. Or if you want to challenge your balance more, don't use a gazing spot. Let your eyes roam around as you do this. Many levels of playing with this balance. All right. Again, at some point, you're going to start to feel you've got some nice activity, some nice warmth happening on the outside of your left hip if you're coming with me and doing your left leg this time. So find the number of times that's right for you, and that feels like you've worked that enough. Come on down. Okay. Woohoo! Hip, hip, hooray. So we've warmed up some of these muscles here. Now, the one thing else that we don't often do is also complementary warm up the muscles on the inner thighs. So grab onto one of your blocks and get it in between your legs. If it feels like you would like to have a little bit more width, you could use 2 and probably like this or something. I don't know. This works for me. Find the blocks that are going to feel comfortable. And now what we're going to do is we're going to lightly press in and then we're going to release a little bit. So have your feet again in a position that feel comfortable. For those of you guys that walk and your toes naturally go out, you may want to lightly externally rotate your legs. Find again a position maybe with your knees a little bit bent. I'm not standing up straight. And then I'm going to squeeze in with my legs and release. Squeeze in, release. Again, maybe up to 5 to 8 times. Squeeze in and release. Anyone feeling this in your inner thighs?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Right.
Especially if you've been riding horses. Yep. Squeeze in and release. You may be feeling it in some outer hip muscles as well, but you should be feeling it in the inner thighs a little bit. Squeeze in, release. One more time. All right. Whoo-hoo. How are they feeling? Aren't we ready to just dance? Well, now I'm actually I lied. I thought I told you that was the last one. I'm going to have you do one more. With this one, it's going to involve leaning over, and you're going to use your hands on the outsides of your legs, and you're going to press out against your hands. So some of you might find it more stable to actually cross your arms and do it like this. You're going to be pressing your legs out, and your hands or your arms are going to be holding your legs in. So whichever one is more comfortable, find that. I kind of like it right here, just above my knees. Inhale, and on the exhale, I'm pressing with my arms, but my legs are pressing out, maybe 20%. That's a great starting place in any of these. And release. Come up if you want to. Move your legs. We're going to do this 2 more times. Okay? Inhale, coming down into the squat, starting to find your arms pressing in and your legs pressing out against your arms. Maybe 1, 2, or 3 breaths here. And come up. Wiggle, wiggle. How's it feeling? One more. Okay, here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Pressing the hands in the legs. Pressing out against your hands. 1, 2, or 3 more breaths. And release. Whew. Stand up. Do your little hip circles or a little side-to-side movement. Maybe move your leg in and out. In and out. All right, I think we're warmed up now and ready for some sun salutations. So coming up towards the front of your mat, you're going to want to have both of your bricks. All right, and I'm going to show you guys from the side, I think today. We'll see if the wind blows my bricks over. All right, so just know I'm going to give you guys some options of things to do. I want you to just be really mindful. Allow this to continue down the road of the intention you set about simplicity and ease. Hopefully this is going to feel, it might feel like you've done some work here at the end of class, but it should maybe feel a little bit more easeful as we go into some of these things. Find your mountain pose. As you're standing in your mountain pose, again, just feel the feeling of the center of your heel, little toe mound and big toe mound grounding down into the earth. As you do that, then can you feel the places not of those 3 points? helping you to lift up and draw the energy up through the legs, up through the spine, up through the crown of your head. Placing your hands back in front of your heart. Bow down to remember your intention, your dedication. On your inhale, softly opening the eyes and beginning to lift the arms up. Take a breath here to feel the rooted down in your feet and the lifting up. And can you find the simplicity of trying to feel the balance of those two actions right here? What might you need to do to adjust your body to find that feeling of ease, sense of harmony right now? Good. Now we're going to move into forward bend. So let's do this in a nice, easy way. Let's start to bend the knees, allow the hips to go back, and then just simply fold forward, finding either your blocks, your legs, or the ground, a place where you can now gently start to ground into those same 3 points in your feet, but lift up from the arches and maybe start to lift your kneecaps, finding the action perhaps of lifting now your sit bones just a little bit higher. Let the stretch be in the belly of the muscle. Let your head and neck relax. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Remember, you always have choices. Inhale and lengthen your spine. On the exhale, we're going to bring that right leg back. Set the knee down. And right here, just for a moment, we're going to either use the blocks or the floor. What I want you to do is keep your left heel down, but just bring yourself forward again. Bring that shin forward. And where can you go to where that heel doesn't lift? And then come back. Twice more. Inhale, come forward. We got that body weight working here a little bit. Ankle mobility. And come back. And one more time. We're coming forward. Good. Now just here, notice if you want to stay here, can you now do that scissoring action of drawing your back knee forward and your front heel back? Does it feel comfortable for you to bring your hands up onto this knee, or do you want to stay low? Some of you may feel comfortable coming up like this, and then maybe even comfortable lifting up. Find the place that's the most easeful and simple for you to maintain, and take 3 more breaths in that position. Good. And when you're ready, exhale to come forward. Go ahead and move the bricks off to the side a moment. Bring your other knee down. And all we're going to do is we're just going to take here now, my arms are a little bit ahead of my shoulders. And I'm just going to come down. I'm going to do a couple knee push-ups. So you notice I'm in kind of a tabletop shape. I'm just going to keep that. I'm going to come down and back up. Now this may be simple and easeful for you. If it's not, come down and rest when you need to. Good. Now this next one, we're going to come down and I'm going to take my arms a little bit farther forward and lower my hips a little bit more. So now this is going to be a little bit more work for my abdominals. And I'm going to just resist gravity. As slow as you can, lower your body all the way down to the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Good job. Now keeping your hands on your shoulders. Take and tap all 10 of your toes down. Just wiggle your hips for a moment. All I want you to do is find that you're going to press down through your sacrum, your pubic bone, and all 10 toes. Then on your next inhale, just lightly allow your head and chest to lift with your inhale and your exhale to bring you back down. Do this 3 more times. Use a pattern of your breath, inhaling up lightly, coming down. The work is in your back, not in your arms. One more time, extending through the crown of the head. And on the exhale, bring your hands under your forehead and rest for a moment. Do a couple little wiggles. If you want to, bend your knees, move your heels side to side. Check in with your body, your breath, that things are still feeling easeful and simple. As you're ready then, you've done your observations, bring your hands back under your shoulders. Start to lift up. We're just going to take it back into child's pose. If child's pose is not easy or simple, if down dog is more easy and simple, you could always use down dog, or you could stay up with your hips higher and just come onto your elbows and just maybe rock a little bit in this position. Find the one that's right for your body and just breathe into your back body. Breathe into your hips, your legs, your ankles, your feet. Good. And then from here, either in your child's pose or lightly lifted, curl your toes under. Just start to bring your arms out a little bit. We're going to start to transition up and either onto hands and knees and do some cat-cows here, or taking it up into an easy down dog, if down dog is easy for you. You could always bend your knees a little bit. Just play with maybe your ankles, coming up onto your toes and down back with your heels. Just doing those a couple times, or maybe bending one knee and the other knee. If you're just simply rocking or moving your down dog, play with it with both toes curled under and then toes straight out on the top of the feet. All right, and whichever one you're doing, we're gonna kind of wind that down and we're gonna step the right leg forward. So those of you guys on your knees, you're just simply gonna bring that right leg forward. Those of you guys in your down dog, right leg forward, left knee comes down. And again, I'm gonna grab onto my blocks because it's easier for me to do this using my blocks. See where my ankle is? All I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start to come forward. Where can I come to that my ankle doesn't lift up? And then I'm gonna come back. All right, I'm gonna use my bricks now here. So coming forward and going back. And one more time, coming forward, maybe staying here for a couple breaths, maybe not if it's not comfortable. You can always go back. If you're here and it's comfortable, do that dragging of the front heel and the back knee towards each other. And then from there, if you want to explore, maybe coming up with hands on the front knee, or maybe even lifting the arms up. Again, let it be which version of this is more easeful for you. Stay there, holding for one more breath. And when you're exhaling, go ahead and come on back down, either hands down the ground on the bricks. We're going to curl the back toe under, lift up that leg. And now, can you artfully step forward? Good. Just for a moment here, again, allow it to be easeful. Allow your head to hang. Find the work that's right for your legs. First, find the 3 points of your feet. Lift up through the other arches. Allow your head to relax down. Maybe start to lift up through the sit bones a little bit more. Finding the work in the belly of the muscle. We're going to come up this time through chair. So on an inhale, start to lower your hips back, reach your arms forward, find that expression of chair and hold that for a breath. Then root down into the feet, lift through the arches all the way up. Let back bend if it's comfortable, and exhale, hands to the heart. Close and soften your eyes for a moment and just check in with your body, your breath, your mind, your energy. Good. Now from here, we're gonna next time include a little bit more balance work. Just to help us get ready for this, go ahead and inhale and bring the arms back up. Find yourself rooted in both feet and lightly turn towards one side, could be right or left. Hold for a breath or two. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side. Again, nice and easy. Inhale back to center and exhale the hands to the heart. Okay. Now I just want to show you what we're going to include in this next sun salutation. I'm going to turn and show you from this side. So we're going to be stepping the left leg back. And we're going to work with Crescent Pose, which is this heel up, kind of like our warrior one, like this position. Now I'm going to have my hands in my bricks because what we're going to do is from here, we're then going to come and start to put a little bit more body weight on this and play with balance. I have both bricks in my hands. We're going to just practice coming down, hinging and setting a brick down, and then coming over and picking it up with an opposite hand. All right? You can place the brick. We're going to do this 3 times on each leg in the different positions. Now, if balance or maybe even just balancing your whole body weight on that one leg is a little tougher, here's where the other brick can come in. I can start to balance. I can always keep the back toes just slightly down if I need to. Come down. I'm trying to still put most of my body weight on this leg. If I need to, I can set this down, but keep this hand on this brick. Take this hand up, then come over, switch hands. Come back down with my support, maybe put my toes down, and then start to work my way back up. All right? I'm still putting the majority of my weight on this leg, but it's another way of working with this with balance. Or you could simply come down and tap a chair, but have it there for your balance and come back up. If you want to do the whole shebang and you think you can do it with one leg, then have one of your bricks maybe if you don't need both. If you think you're not sure, have both in your hands. All right. We're going to come again to the front of your mat to start off with. Have your bricks together. Just kind of bring them into your heart, kind of bowing down to your bricks, but also to your intention and dedication. Good. Inhale, lift up through the arms. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, float forward, nice and easy. Bend your knees as needed. Good. We're going to step the left leg back, taking those toes on the ground and finding your crescent pose. All right, from here, you have your 2 bricks. We're going to start to transfer weight onto the front leg. Inhale, looking down. Come on down. If you're just doing the one arm, take it into your right arm. Set the brick down. Lightly come up. Hinge again, then forward from your waist and see if you can pick it up with your left arm. If you need that other brick for balance, use that for balance. Try this 3 times if you can. If you can do it without touching down with your other leg in between, great. If you need to touch down, you're changing hands if you can. Play and hip hinge. Once you've done your 3 times, set your back toes back down. Go ahead and set those bricks down for a moment. Woohoo, let's lift up through the arms. Your right hip may be tucked into you right now. Bring your arms into cactus arms. Inhale here, exhale, turn towards that right leg. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other leg. Back to center. Good. Let's go ahead and take the arms down to the ground. We're going to step both legs back, either into plank pose or into your knee plank. If you can, hold 3 breaths here. Scrub your hands backwards and your feet or knees forward. Inhale, exhale, release that. Do that twice more. And then either knees down or knees lifted. Gently lower down. Exhale, slow, 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 and up on the belly. Let's go ahead and this time take the hands back towards the heels. Separate your feet, top of the feet down, pubic bone down. Inhale, come up, reach your fingers towards your heels. And exhale, release back and down. Twice more. Inhale up, grounding through pubic bone and feet. Reach fingers towards heels and down. This 3rd time, if you can, stay up for a breath or 2. Inhale up on the exhale. See if you can stay without sinking down. Maybe 1 more breath, maybe 2. Good job. And exhale. Whew. Hands under the head or under the shoulder. Take a couple breaths here. Wiggle, wiggle the hips. Wiggle the legs as needed. Wow, good job. All right, bring your hands under your shoulders. Inhale up, either onto hands and knees or up into down dog. Which one is right for you? Simple and easy. In either one of them, whether it be down dog, what I want you to do is just for a moment, tuck your rear end under, try to spread your shoulder blades, and then lift your sit bones up, try to lift your chest up. Like you're doing cat-cow and down dog. Those you guys on hands and knees. Do your regular cat-cow. 1 more. Good. And now this time we're going to step the left leg forward. So if you're on your hands and knees, do the same thing. You're eventually going to lift up that back leg. Bring your bricks. Find your crescent pose here. So my back heel is lifted. I'm challenging a little bit of the balance right now. And we're going to do the hip hinging and work on this side. Again, number of options. So you can use your chair for doing this. You could take both bricks down to the ground or just 1 brick at a time. First, start to find. You're going to come up and start to balance on that left leg. And choosing which hand, if you're using both, you want to set that brick down. I might use the other one for balance. Come back up. Come down and try to pick it up with the other hand. Woohoo! If you need to, touch the foot down in between. Inhale, hip hinge, set one down again. Come back up. Those of you guys that want to, you can stay up on this leg without touching down. 3 times. Hinging forward. Setting a brick down. Coming back up, finding those 3 points of the feet, the arches lifting, that ankle working. After you've done that those 3 times, we're now going to come back and into crescent pose. Bring that right foot back down. Lift up those arms. Say, woohoo, we made it. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale here, twist towards that bent knee. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back to center, and now artfully step forward. Lift the arms up, a light back bend if that feels comfortable. And exhale the hands back to the heart. And just take a moment here. Close your eyes, soften your gaze. Finding right here how your body, your breath, your mind feel. Good. As you're ready, release the arms on down. We're going to come into, just to help squeeze out our legs a little bit, sitting on our heels. Salud. So for some of you, it's going to be helpful, just going to again show you from the side, to put a couple bricks and to maybe sit like this. Some of you will be able to get down lower. Come down to the level where you can comfortably come down to. Whew. Here in Costa Rica, we have about 87% humidity today. So, are you guys sweating like I am? Oh, good. It's not just me. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to do a couple things as our legs squish out a little bit. For those of you guys that this is really uncomfortable, what you may need to do is put a little blanket roll up and underneath just the front of your ankles. If you have that hand towel, something like this is sometimes be very helpful if that's where this doesn't feel comfortable. If you need to, sit in a regular cross-leg position if this is not comfortable. All right, so we're just going to do another couple of things for the arms since we don't want them to feel left out today. So we're going to inhale and just open up nice and wide, lift up with that heart. Exhale, crossing one of your arms over the other. Just do a nice big hug. Right here, if you can, what I want you to do is try to release your arms down a little bit. Draw your chin in, and then start to drop your chin down toward your chest. I'm not going to do that because then my voice will start to get really loud on my microphone. Stretch out the back of your neck. Just breathe into the back of your heart right now. Allow perhaps your breath in and out of there to be simple and easy. And after you've taken about 3 or 4 breaths, gently start to lift your head back up. Use an inhale to open up your arms. Now squeeze those shoulder blades together as much as you can back behind you. And now on this next breath, cross the other arm on top. Again, crossing the elbows, maybe releasing them down. Draw your chin lightly in and then allow your head to come down towards your chest. Feel the stretch in the back of the neck, the opening in between your shoulder blades now, and breathe into that. Feel that nice release of maybe those muscles that have been bunched up a little bit. Smooth and easy. After about 3 or 4 breaths, as you're ready, inhale to bring the head back up and open the arms nice and wide again. We're going to turn the hands back and then just reach your hands back behind. If you can, clasp your hands. If not, just keep your arms reaching back behind you. As you do either one of these, just feel like your collarbones are spreading nice and wide. And now breathe into the front of your heart. Again, try to keep the back of your neck long. Draw your chin in lightly. 3 or 4 nice deep breaths here. I just felt my shoulders release a little bit more, closing into the back body a little bit more. Ah, that feels good. And release, exhale. Good, just do a couple shoulder shrugs. All right. Now for this next one, if you have a belt or anything, you may not need it. And this is where we're going to work the arms going into Gomukhasana arms. Now, you can stay sitting like this. If those of you guys who know full Gomukhasana and you like that pose, you could always do that. We're going to have the right elbow up first, so that means your right leg would be the one on the bottom. What I'm talking about is doing this with the legs, trying to cross knee over knee, and then up like this. You don't have to do the leg portion of it. It might be fun, but if that's not for you today, you can stay with just simply sitting on your heels or on the supports that you were on. That's what I'm going to model. You guys that are doing it, if you're doing it, right knee is under and left knee is on top. Some days it may be great for your body. Some days it may not be the right pose for your body. So just know that about yourself. This will keep your pelvis even. So if you're feeling it in your low back or your hips at all that it doesn't feel quite right, I'm going to suggest that you stay with this one. Good. How's everyone back there? All right. So far, so good? All right. So now I'm going to show you. We're going to lift the right elbow up and into the air. You can always use your left hand to help bring it up. And here's what I'm going to turn around and show you from the back. Now from here, we're going to take your left arm out to the side and then bring it up. And if your fingers join, great. Mine don't real well. So I can either use my shirt and I can just simply grab onto my shirt like this. Or if you do have a strap or even your small towel, bring that in your top arm and you can use that here. What I want you to do is I want you to notice here, I want it to be easeful. So I don't want you cranking your arms too much today. There's times when we work with this actively. I want you to come back and focus on your breath and focus on having your neck nice and tall and easeful. Soften or close your eyes. We may challenge our bodies at times, just like our life may challenge our minds or our emotion at times. Can we find the ease? Can we find our breath within that challenge? Taking 2 more breaths here. Nice full inhale. Nice, simple and easy full exhale. And then gently start to release your arms. Bring them back and around. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Those of you guys that are sitting with your knees in that position, you're going to need to change position because you're going to want to have the left knee underneath. So you'll take your legs out, get that left knee underneath, finding where that right leg, the ideal is to have the knees on top of each other. On my right side, my knee won't go right on top of this, but this would be a comfortable position to stay in. Again, I'm going to model for y'all. Staying sitting either on your supports or sitting on your heels. Left arm's turn to come up. Bring that on up. Bring it back using your other hand just for a moment. Give it a nice little stretch. Then let it find its place by itself. Right arm is going to come out to the side and come up the back and reach for either your fingers or have your towel or strap and find that. Again, knowing that I want it to be an easeful position today, I'm not going to try to grasp for my fingers because that wouldn't feel easeful for very long. This feels like it's just the right amount. Then I can soften or close my eyes and start to find the feeling of my breath in my body, settling into a place where I can find that balance of ease. I can feel that my muscles are doing something, but I can maintain it. I'm calm. I hopefully will take this off my mat into my day today. I hope you do too. One more breath. Good. And simply start to release those arms. Those of you guys who have your legs crossed, start to release the cross of your legs. I'm going to come over here off to the side and take the legs out in front. Give them a little wiggle, 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 wiggle. Just move the ankles. Say thank you, ankles. Thank you, legs. Thank you, hips. Good. Now we're going to take this into a little twist before we come down onto our back for Shavasana. So we're going to switch and we're going to bring the legs and kind of sweep them over to the left. And today we're going to do, it's called mermaids, or I want to say it's Matsyengasana in Sanskrit, if I remember right. So your legs are in 2 different ways. Right leg is actually doing kind of an external rotation. My left leg is doing a little internal rotation. Now, if your body doesn't particularly like internal rotation, you may find that you're having to lean over like this. If that's the case, adding some height underneath that right sit bone might actually make it feel a little bit more comfortable while we're in this, either a blanket or a block underneath the right sit bone. All right? And then from here, we're just going to simply move into a little bit of a twist. So depending on how you're feeling, You might just find you want to find exactly where you want that twist to be. You could reach your arm out, up, down. Some of you guys might find you actually want to start turning and twisting and coming down and resting into the ground. And some of you might find, no, it's not going to feel that easeful to stay there. I'm just going to move back and forth, in and out of this. This is like those choose your adventure books. You need to find which is the one that's right for you. All right, so possibly moving, possibly finding a little bit different area to take that arm to, or making your way into possibly coming down towards the ground and just resting here for some breaths. We're going to take about 30 more seconds in this. So finding which one works for you, either gentle movement or finding your resting spot. Whichever one you're doing, just find ease, simplicity, breath. Feel that nice easeful inhale, that nice easeful exhale. And when it's time for you, you'll just simply and gently start to bring yourself back up and out. You can always stay for a couple more breaths if you want. And we're going to turn to the other side. So if that brick or that blanket was helpful on that side, it may be helpful on the other side. Again, it's just going to depend on how your hips handle this combo here of external and internal rotation in the legs. All right. Finding and feeling that, how much or how little support you might want to have. This time it would be under the left hip. And again, finding your left hand where it's going to be a supportive hand for you. And then just simply starting to find, again, how does this twist feel on this side? And explore maybe a couple times. Kind of unwinding. Maybe that arm wants to come up while you press down through that left leg. Feel that line of fascia, get a nice stretch. Maybe coming back, maybe going low. I'm hearing moans from back here. And again, you can just simply find this movement and continue to find gentle and easeful movement. Or you may want to make your way down, maybe onto your arms or maybe onto the elbows, and then pause here for a few breaths. Find what's right for your body. No matter which one you're doing, make it easeful. Commit to that. Feel your breath, nice and smooth. And sense for you, when it's right, you can always stay for some more breaths. And as you gently come up, we're going to go on to the back. So just about time for Shavasana. So finding yourself starting to work your way down and onto the ground on your back. For any of the tools that you may want to have for Shavasana, have them close by. If you know you're going to want to have a blanket for underneath your legs or underneath your head. Just going to give you guys a little bit more space here. All right. So as you lie back down, just ask your body, is there anything else that you would like to have or to do before we go into Shavasana? Some of you may feel like you actually want to have another little back bend, or some of you may want to go into happy baby, or some of you may be just really happy just sliding right into Shavasana. Find what's right for you at this moment. If there's some movement that your body would like you to do, please do some more movement. Find the wiggles that you might need or want to have to get comfortable lying in stillness for about 10 minutes. Are you guys okay over here? ¿Qué quiere? Nothing? All right. All right. Lillian, you okay over here? Good. Okay, so start to get yourself this feeling of being really grounded at the base of your sacrum, through your legs, through your calves, to those wonderful ankles and feet. so that everything feels yummy. Yeah. All right. Good. So just take a moment. What I'm doing with these guys is I'm just kind of rocking their legs a little bit. So if you don't have somebody in your house who can come over and rock your legs, what I want you to do is just rock your pelvis a little bit. So you kind of feel your sacrum nestled down. You feel the back of your pelvis get nice and nestled down, really grounding it. And then do the same thing, come up your spine and feel the same thing with your shoulder blades. Get your shoulder blades feeling really super comfy on the ground. And you may need to just wiggle your upper body a little bit to feel them nestle down into there. And then do the same thing with the back of your head. Just maybe a little bit of wiggle wiggle to just know and to feel that the back of your head is in just the right spot. You found that sweet spot. All right. Your legs and your arms are comfortably away from each other. There's a sense of ease now in your body. Feel the support underneath you now. Feel your legs now ground and relax down into that support in your sacrum, the back of your legs and your feet. Send your breath now into your pelvis, your hips. Exhaling, letting your pelvis ground, your hips relax, simply being and releasing any leftover tension. And now send that breath up and down your spine, your back, and your front body. Feel your exhales just soften your back into the earth. Let her hold you. Let your front body soften into your back body. Let it be easeful. You can feel that you're being held easily now. Bring your breath from your shoulders now down to your fingertips. With a couple nice deep full breaths and maybe opening your jaw a little bit and going, ah. Feel anything you've been carrying on your shoulders releasing down now. Your shoulders, your arms, your hands held by Mother Earth, supported fully. There's nothing you need to carry right now. And then allow your breath to come up through your throat, into your face, your eyes, your brain, and forehead. Everything now with some nice full exhales, relaxing. Your throat and jaw softening. Your tongue relaxing in your mouth. Your eyes softening and relaxing in their sockets. Ears turning inward. And the front of your brain settling and snuggling down. Now letting ease be plentiful as you simply rest within your heart. Om Bhuva Svaha Tatsavitu Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Demahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Just simply feel yourself once again on the earth and feel the gentleness of your breath within your body. As you're ready, lightly moving fingers, toes, coming back into a body awareness, and then gradually maybe doing a nice full big stretch. As you're ready, coming over onto the side that's the most comfortable for you, letting your arms then, after a couple breaths of transition, gently bring yourself back into a sitting position that's nice and easy for a couple moments. We've got about 5 minutes here, so we're going to just do a short meditation, a little bit of breath work. So just finding something that's comfortable to sit in for about 4 minutes or so. As you find that position and settle into it again, just soften or close your eyes. And just check in again with your body. How is it feeling now? Now that you've done your physical practice, had a good, I hope, Shavasana. Now bring yourself back into that awareness of your body as it is in this moment. And finding the way to support it so it can feel easeful in the next couple minutes of sitting here. And once you've found that position, then go ahead and tap into your breath. Start to feel the natural breath as it comes in and as it goes out. And I want you to once again imagine the column, your energetic column, Sushumna, that goes from the top of your head. It actually extends beyond that. From the top of your head down to your pelvic floor, just lightly in front of your spine. Maybe about the width of one of your fingers, and imagine it golden in color. And as you're ready, begin imagining your breath comes in on your inhale through the top of your head and comes down to the pelvic floor. And on the exhale, it comes back and up through that golden column all the way through the top of your head. Just establishing this, visualizing it, even if you don't necessarily sense it in your body. And just visualize breath coming down to the pelvic floor and arising back up through the crown of the head. And letting it be easeful. Just start to notice the pauses as your breath comes into the pelvic floor in between your inhale and exhale. And then the similar pause at the end of your exhale after your breath has gone up through the crown of your head. Just at this time, simply noticing those natural pauses. And only if it feels comfortable, extending that pause, maybe for just a second or so, on both ends. Inhaling breath to pelvic floor, feeling that light pause. Exhaling the breath going back and up and out through the crown of the head, and that light pause there. Whether or not you elongate the pause, maintaining the sense of ease and just simply observing how it feels to pay attention to that pause. How it feels to follow your breath within this golden tube. Three more breaths in this manner. And after you've exhaled that third time, release the visualization and just simply observe once again. With your natural and easeful breath, did that bring about a sense of more ease within you or not? If it's comfortable, turning your palms to face upward and joining the thumbs and index fingers. May we continue to walk this path of consciousness, bringing awareness to more minutes of our day so that we can make the best choices to have a conscious and easeful life. As you're ready, then bringing your palms together in front of your heart, bowing to honor all you are, all you experience. And we'll close together again with a final Om, allowing it to vibrate Ah low in the body, Oo at the heart, the nasal sound in the head, and of silence arising through the crown of the head. Exhaling together and inhaling. Namaste. Thank you so much for your practice. Thank you all for your practice. How you feeling? Cool. Yeah, pura vida. Hope it gets you all off onto a great Monday.